Welcome back to Swinging at Shins. We're back. I am in a lovely golden glow. It is Christmas time. My office is like not an entire mess. I even got lights in the back, boxes. So I look classy. There's the boxes have been pushed out of frame. no, that's not true. There are less boxes.
They're on the walls. That's what it is.
More importantly, some of the boxes are on the walls. That's 100% true. More importantly, the Premier League table has a new team at the top. Has a new team in fourth. And I just got done watching a 6-0 Arsenal victory. By the way, shout out Woodsy. Thank you for letting me know that this is going to be a very hard group. I love that. We went in with one game left. Makes me feel great.
Clinch.
But we have a ton to go over. First of all, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving at this time of year, then you're missing out. I'm sorry.
Or, just spend time with your family. It's cool with doing that, too.
Do you know what we were doing a year ago?
Was it COVID? No, we were doing this. We were doing World Cup. We were doing World Cup.
We were doing World Cup.
It was awesome.
You and I were both sick as dogs.
Yes, we were.
Just like absolutely just,
grind it out.
Grind it out. But now for the Arsenal, 13 matches played, 30 points, top of the league. Aston Villa, 28 points.
Yes, sir.
Tottenham has started the free fall.
3-game losing streak here for them.
Soon to be 4. They got City.
Oh, yeah. At City, yeah, definitely.
Is it at City? So was he get it backwards? Yeah, it's at City.
City.
It's done. It's done. Oh, that's rough for them. Manchester United surprisingly in 6.
Quotes of having their worst season and they're still in 6, which is actually a pretty decent testament for their players for playing.
Only better. Team this year to not have a draw.
Yeah,
I'm not making that up. Only
no,
team
I just looked at it. I got the table up.
Which makes sense of how United's been playing.
Mm-hmm.
All or nothing.
I was going to say teetery.
8 wins, 0 draws, 5 losses, 16 goals scored, 16 goals conceded.
Yeah. The problem is their losses look bad.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they're not that good.
And their wins are also not good. They're not commanding wins is what I'm trying to get.
That is true.
They're not united wins.
Speaking of having some structure to this, if we can manage some structure. 7:30 match in America, in the Eastern Coast. So 7:30 match for a quarter of America on Saturday. City 1, Liverpool 1. We're going to have a lot to talk about with that. West Ham 2, Burnley 1. Luton Town 2, Crystal Palace 1. I have a theory on that one.
Okay.
Newcastle, it was 1-1 at half and then ended up 4-1 Newcastle over Chelsea, I believe.
Well, yeah, it was Chelsea. I was like, where are the goals coming in? Because I watched it this morning and I was like, there's supposed to be 4 goals that are total that are coming.
Where's it coming? Where's it coming? Where's it? Oh,
there it is.
Oh, there
it is again.
Brighton with a 3-2 win against Forest. Bournemouth running 3-1 away against Sheffield United. That's the type of win that makes me think Bournemouth is going to stay up again.
Yeah, same. They beat the teams below you and beat the teams around you, or at least
beat the teams below you away, too, by multiple goals.
That's critical.
Arsenal with a KG 1-0 win against Brentford.
Mm-hmm.
Villa with a 2-1 win against Tottenham Hotspur. I think Heung-min Son was offside a record 27 times.
That's what that drove up the 165 offsides for a record Villa right
65 of them were in that Tottenham match.
Exactly.
Manchester United 3, Everton 0. Garnacho with maybe the goal of the season already.
Yeah. Yep. That was filthy. If you haven't seen it, watch it over and over.
And then Fulham 3, Wolves 2. I'm going to go back to the top. City 1, Liverpool 1. I've heard a lot of different things about this game.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. City failed to put this game away. I think it is that simple. This game should have been out of reach.
They had plenty of opportunities through Doku, who deserved to be man of the match and recognized for it. He was he definitely excelled in this match in taking advantage of Trent's positioning and having to suck help. The problem was the city didn't take advantage of the help that was given to Trent to cover Doku at the same time. So It is kind of surprising that they didn't take more advantage of that.
This match and then the match that City had against Leipzig, I think shows that there's a little more openness to their back line than you've seen. Mm-hmm. Again, I get it. City, it's the fall, technically still, although it does not feel like it today. It is cold. But it's the fall, technically. I totally get it. But there seems to be a little bit more openness. And I think this is a prime example of City missing Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, for sure.
I think if they had KDB, they win this match. I think it is that simple. I'm surprised that they didn't win this match anyway. The entire first half, I thought that they had it. I was just waiting for the second goal. Waiting for the second goal. Waiting for the second goal.
Scoring. Come on.
And then I'm looking at it. I'm like, I should be waiting for the third goal or for the fourth goal or for what's happening. And then it never happened. And then you look at the stats, and I know how we feel about XG, but they had more than double the XG that Liverpool had. They had double the shots.
Stats.
They had almost double the shots on target. They had double the big chances. They had probably 2/3 more accurate passes, less fouls, more corners. But Liverpool also did what they needed to do.
Got lucky with that. It's not even.
I think it was a well-worked goal. They got lucky because City didn't finish, not because they didn't deserve it. And I know that's what you mean. I just feel like sometimes you have to say that.
Yeah, that's fair. The goal is fantastic. And I think this game was probably better served as a draw than an actual winner. But it is surprising that City, being City, didn't, see this game through and put another goal in. Yeah,
I don't think City did good enough. Erling Haaland had 0.73 expected goals on his own.
That's crazy. That's more than. Hold on, I want to look up. Let's look up. I'm just going to do it right here. Arsenal. They had 0.65
for Brentford.
For Arsenal.
Against the Brentford match. Yes. Yeah, no, I agree with that. That feels about right for how that Brentford match went.
Yeah, that was weird.
Props to Brentford. We'll get to that. I think props to Brentford. I think Brentford played us very well.
Yeah.
I think that Leandro Trossard goal that got called offside, that may be rules as written, but that is certainly not rules as intended.
It was painful to watch because it's like, yeah, he's offside for sure. He's offside, and they had to draw the lines, but it's like, God damn, why?
That is not the point of what offside is.
No, you just kicked me in the nuts with that. Well, not me, but you kicked the fan in the nuts for sure.
Liverpool is still proving to be an interesting team. There was a very interesting stat.
Yeah,
I saw that Liverpool has the most expected goals in matches that they played, and not just goals for, and goals against.
Oh, well, that.
So, and again, it's tough how it's stacked up. Arsenal has the least, and that's because Arsenal plays very tight. They had the least amount of goals expected against. Mm-hmm. So, and this did not differentiate in any way. So, I don't know what the differentiators are, but Liverpool definitely plays the most open. I mean, and you look at it, it's 28 and 11. The only one who has more goals is Villa, who, by the way, leads the league in. Well, no, City does, but almost Villa leads the league.
Goals.
Yeah. 31 goals, 18 against, as opposed to 27 and 10 for Arsenal and 33 and 13 for City. That is it is interesting, and I think the 18 goals against doesn't seem that surprising to me because of how Villa plays the offside trap.
Yeah,
because that is high risk, high reward
for sure. You're definitely going to play into a problem when you're playing the high line and you're playing out the back.
Yeah.
So you're going to give up a goal or two every now and then, and you're just going to have to live with it. So
No,
we all get to love it.
We do. Oh, this Premier League season, this one's going to be a cracker. This one's going to be awesome.
It's definitely a lot. I think it's a lot more top heavy this year. Like, I think 8 till first is going to be really, really fun. Like it was last year, honestly, from, 8 to first was tight as well. Running down that stretch. It was only like 8 points difference, 10, something like that. And it made for a spectacular finish. And we can only hope for the same as fans of the Premier League. And it's only getting better with the quality of coaching, managing, like Ange, Unai. We already knew his quality.
Well, and I think to the point you're trying to make, it's becoming more top heavy, and the proof of that is United still being in 6th.
That fair enough, yeah. And Chelsea in 10th. I know, but like we're a big 6 club. We like to spend a lot of money.
Big 6 is a marketing term.
Oh, I know. I understand that.
It just is. Now, the money, absolutely. We're 13 matches in. They have one more loss than wins.
Yeah, so everyone's waiting for them to be like, okay, we're going to turn it on now. And just when you think they do it, like the 4-4 draw they had against City, it's just, Nope, they stall out again. Every time, stall out. And it's in.
Well, the 4-4 match against City is a perfect example of how I think City's defense is just not that good right now.
That's fair. Well, that game in general was kind of weird because there's pens and.
Also, everyone can tell me how freaking good Palmer is and how stupid City are for letting him go. Score a goal and open play, and then I'm gonna pay attention.
It's hard to do. What do you want from the kid? He's 20 years old or something like that.
I want people to stop putting him on a pedestal and just let him be him.
I think he's a good player, personally.
I also think he's a good player. He's got 4 goals, and every single one of them are from penalties.
So you know what's going to happen with this Cole Palmer thing? It's going to be like Kevin De Bruyne all over again. He's going to end up slacking to the expectation that he was bought in for. He's going to get sold to some German team, and then he's going to get bought for double what they paid for him back to the Premier League.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's what Chelsea does.
You look at it, he has a 4.9. He has 4 goals. He has a 4.9 expected goal difference. You look at his shot map, and the only place there's a goal symbol is on the penalty line. There's just one ball. No, I think he's a good player. I think everyone's just saying, "Oh, look at him. It's going to be fine. It's going to be." It's like Chelsea has so many problems, and this kid is playing incredibly well.
Yeah.
And there's no hate with that.
No.
But stop trying to say that he's Chelsea's savior because he's not. He's a young kid. He's doing really well, and that's all there is.
And he's got a lot of, money backing him too.
And he is playing well, but that's not. And people are doing this. Conor Gallagher is a better midfielder than Declan Rice. No. Look at the stats, and it's like, no, he's not. The stats that you accumulate are definitely better. Absolutely, they're better because he has to accumulate more because he doesn't have anyone around him. Arsenal last year, they scored literally bang on. The average amount of goals that a Premier League winner scores over the last 10 years is 87 goals. They scored 88. The average amount of goals that a Premier League side gives up and still wins the league is 33. They let in 44.
Oh, wow.
Everyone's saying that we need a striker. No, we don't. We need better defense. We need Saliba and Tomiyasu to not go down to the same Europa League match and then lose it. So what do? We went out and got Declan Rice. We have the best defense in Europe. It is that simple, and that's been what the difference is, and that's why, again, we're top of the league after 13 matches. Are we going to hold it? I don't know if we're going to hold it, but I'll tell you what, I'm more confident this year than I was last year.
I know you're not. I know the statement of getting a striker isn't truly what you mean. That I I think
That's what everyone says,
helps.
though. Oh, we need. Yeah, of course, a striker helps.
But I'm saying,
But
like,
to think that our. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not saying like you totally discount getting a striker. That's what I'm trying to say. You're just saying that the defense needed to be helped. The defense didn't need to lose those key pieces, and getting in a key piece with Declan Rice is very beneficial. Now, just turn to the offense and get that revved, and now you're good to go.
I'm saying that we don't need to get our offense revved.
I'm saying you do personally.
I don't think we do, because I think what we need to do is I think that we need our offense to play the way they need to. And also, have you seen what the Champions League score was today?
6-0.
Yeah, we're fine.
Lens.
We're fine. They beat us 2-1.
It's Lens.
In the away fixture. They are goal
away.
scoring. This is what City does. This is what City does every year. They struggle to find goal. The only year they didn't do it was last year. They normally struggle to find goals, but they're a defensive powerhouse. They have a lot of 1-0, 2-1 wins in the beginning of the season. And then their defense stays exactly the same, and their offense starts clicking. And they have a bunch of 5-0, 6-1s, and they're off to the races, and it's over. City do that all the time. This is the way Arsenal need to play. And I don't think that getting if we need a striker is for Jesus coverage when he gets injured, not because Jesus isn't good enough.
Nah, you replaced Jesus.
We score so many goals. We had 6 goals today from 6 different players.
Okay, that's fine, and I'll tell you that.
No, but that's how you want to play.
I get that.
Chelsea won the league for not Chelsea. City won the league for 3 straight years without having a true number 9. It's defense.
They were just
That's
built
where we
different.
needed help. That's where we needed help. We needed defense. The way that they were built different was having the best defense in the league.
Also having Kevin De Bruyne.
Well, that definitely helped. We have Martin Odegaard and Saka and Martinelli. And the 3 of those together is worth 1 KDB, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
City won despite Raheem Sterling just stopping play in the left wing every time he got the ball.
Well, then he would just wait for Kyle Walker to run. No, it's the other side. But that's not the point.
I don't
I
think we need a
Arsenal
striker.
needs. I think if okay, if they decide to go out and get a striker, I'm just saying if it has to replace Jesus.
All right. So are you telling me right now that the difference between Arsenal winning the league and not is Ivan Toney?
Yes. Have you seen what Ivan Toney does?
I don't think we need him.
I
would love to have him. I would love to have him. But the difference between Arsenal winning and losing, we lost the Prem last year because we let up too many goals to Southampton. We let up too many goals to Brighton. We let up too many goals. We don't let up those goals the way we did. We're fine. Look at what happened. The City match at the beginning of the year is a perfect example. We didn't let them score. Yes, was that Martinelli goal lucky? It was. But the Martinelli goal won us 3 points because we didn't let them score. That's the difference. That's where the 3 points matter.
Arsenal have the coverage now compared to last year. They have Kivior, who's a little more seasoned. They have other players that I don't know because I don't follow Arsenal as well as you do. But so maybe they do go buy another center back, okay? And then they go out and get a striker. If that, so you get more coverage. I don't know. I don't know what the youth system's like. I don't know anything like that for Arsenal, so I can't exactly just be like, go out and buy a player. All I know is what I see on paper. And maybe you go and get another center back to cover in case the Saliba or Big Gabby go down. Or, because then you've got Arsenal have, what's his face? Timber, who went down, unfortunately. So you won't see him.
But between Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, and Ben White, we have good coverage on the fullback side.
So then you possibly go.
And Kivior, who played half at left back, I think.
Yeah, I saw that they've been deploying him out there every now and then. So at least maybe another center back. So then that shores up. I know you're not arguing it. I know you're also stating that the step isn't necessarily just a striker right away. It's the defense, and then you build out.
My argument is right now, and of course, teams go buy new players, they go buy new players. But my argument is right now, if you look at this Arsenal team and you think a striker is what's missing, you don't understand how this Arsenal team's built. Between Odegaard and Smith Rowe and Trossard and Jesus and Nelson and Havertz and Saka and Martinelli, that's where all our goals come from. They don't come from one guy. Martin Odegaard was out with a concussion for weeks. We still won. You have too many eggs in one basket, proverbially, with a certain player, whoever it is, you run into issues. If you lose your goal scorer, now you can't score goals anymore, you run into issues. We can get goals from Trossard or Jesus or Nelson or Havertz or Saka or Martinelli or Smith Rowe or Odegaard. They will all score. And that's how we want to play. We want to play with the goal scoring being evenly distributed among those guys. And to say, we're going to go get a striker that's going to be the point man, that's not the way we play. That's the argument I have about we need to go get a striker. If we have a guy who would score 30 goals for us all the time, that would be fantastic. But even last year, how many arguments did we have in the beginning of the year before Haaland decided to play the way he started to play? And then everyone said, oh, Haaland fell off. But the beginning of the year last year, oh, he's the best. He's fantastic. He's amazing. Are they worse with him? And then when he started playing more as a team player, oh, man, Haaland's really fallen off. No, he played the way they need to play to win the goddamn treble. That's the way they play.
So I'm going to spin this. So you don't get Tony. Fine. And you like the distribution of goals. What about Mbeumo?
Can have anyone you want as long as they're from Brentford.
What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I said you can have anyone you want as long as they're from Brentford.
Well, honestly, like, do you see anybody like? Do you want?
Where does Mbeumo play?
Multiple positions. He's kind of like a striker.
I know, winger. But everyone already plays multiple positions. I mean, like, where does he come into this Arsenal 11?
Okay, so I would still start him above. I'd still start him above Jesus. You get then the rotation of. I just personally like. I know Jesus does the little things, okay, and I understand that he facilitate around, but I think that Mbeumo brings you speed up top to be a little bit more direct, and I think that he's a good facilitator of the ball, and I think he also can press. What I would be worried about is Jesus running as much as he does, because he's bound to get injured.
So if you're talking about from a coverage standpoint, I agree, but I think we just need to play Trossard more.
No, there you go. Okay.
And I think that Mbeumo plays the way he does in that Brentford team, and he's good at it. He's absolutely good at it. But I think he plays that way because he doesn't have Martinelli and Saka. All three guys can't be constantly. I know, but all three guys can't be constantly crashing the goal at the same time. Someone has to have the ball. Someone has to do the hold-up play to play the next guy off. Someone has to be doing that. You know who I think would play wonderful in this is a guy like Giroud. Because he could be that wonderful point man that we could be crossing balls to the back post with, but also be doing hold-up play and playing off to the sprinting winger doing the overlap.
Richard, that's Ivan Toney. Just not that expensive.
I think... And, you know, without the gambling addiction.
Well, yeah, whatever. But he's okay now. He went to rehab. I shouldn't be that. He went to rehab. It's all fixed.
That's not how rehab works.
Oh, shit. Oh, never mind.
I know that Ivan Toney is like that, and I agree with him. And I think he's good. I do. I think that, I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that I've been hearing for 10 years. No, I've been hearing for 10 years that Arsenal's a striker away from winning everything.
Okay, fine. Then
and we're just not. We're just not. We have been a defense away from winning a long time, and we finally have the defense. And now that we finally have the defense, we're a striker away from winning still. And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Absolutely not. I don't agree with you.
Okay, well, we can agree to disagree that Ivan Toney would be the best acquisition, even if he costs 120 million pounds.
If I pay 20 million pounds more for Ivan Toney than we pay for Declan Rice, I'm done.
Nah, it'd probably be like 80 to 90 and then some sort of.
I don't even think it'd be that much.
Yeah,
I honestly don't even think it'd be that much.
I think it's, you look at the body of work that he's done.
That's not what drives value. If that was the only thing that drove value, we'd be seeing different values for players.
So you're saying, never mind. I don't want to. It's fine. Okay.
I'm saying that I think that they let him go for less. Because
I don't know what his
part of
contract.
it,
Sorry, go ahead.
you're either going to lose him for nothing.
Yep.
Or you can get something out. Speaking of, Luton Town Crystal Palace.
Hey, they got something out of that. Well, somebody
Yeah, Luton Town did. Are you ready for my theory?
No, but I think
Crystal Palace have to be 13th. That's the only reason why it had. If Crystal Palace were 14th or 15th, they would have smashed Luton.
Oh, for sure.
If they were 9th, it would have been a 4-0 loss. It's just they have to be 13th.
Somebody's got to sit there.
And it's them.
Yeah.
I swear to God, it's them.
They've had a rough go of it. Last 5 games, they've only won 1. They haven't even they've only taken 3 points. Brutal. They're finally getting Elise and Eze and who else?
Yeah, you talk about a team that doesn't have the depth.
No,
And that's where they're at. They have a 2-0 victory against Burnley. Apart from that, 2-1 loss at Luton, 3-2 loss, Everton.
lost to Spurs.
Lost to Spurs, 4-0 drubbing against Newcastle.
At Newcastle, which is fair. Everybody loses at Newcastle. A lot of teams lose at Newcastle, I should say.
I'm better about that.
You're telling, well, I'm glad that I can finally wash away the 6-1 loss.
That's true. That is true.
That was a hell of a way to open up the season.
God. Remember when we all thought Newcastle was like going to rule the world after that? And then they're like, oh, somehow Newcastle's a point behind United. That makes no sense. Makes no sense.
That says a bigger testament to Newcastle because of how many injuries and suspensions that they have. Everybody is injured, and they still have to go play.
All right, hold on.
I'm breathing.
United is a point above Newcastle. Newcastle has the same goal difference that Arsenal has. 17.
I'm looking
17. Their goal difference is 17. United's is 0. That's why you play 38 matches, because there's no way that United is above Newcastle after this. Listen, what I'm saying is United will be above United.
They just got to get out of their own way.
Sometimes. Absolutely, sometimes.
And Mourinho. That was neat.
Brentford and Chelsea have the same points.
Yep. That is fact.
Crystal Palace, Fulham, and Crystal Palace, Wolves, and Fulham are 1 point behind Chelsea.
Yep. That's also factual.
You want to hear a crazy stat?
Sure.
Reece James has not played 3 consecutive matches since 2021.
Well, that's because he's either 1 injured or 2 suspended. Just like
that's still crazy. That's still crazy.
No, you're absolutely right. The guy is made of glass. The movie Glass is made because of Reece James. That's not how that works. But if they could do it all
I'm
over
scratching my head at that one, my man.
I'm sorry?
So I'm scratching my head at that one.
Yeah. That's a neat one. I like that one.
That the movie Glass is made about Reece James?
Yes.
I thought the movie Glass was made about Theo Walcott.
That's true. Wheelchair. So I'm actually going to save that. I'm going to keep that one for what?
No, I want to know.
No. It's a true false. I'm going to keep it for later.
Oh, okay.
Come on, keyboard. Oh, it's got to light up. Guys, we have like no template we're going off of. We're just spitting. You're just listening to us banter this whole time.
I'm pretty sure that's obvious. If you are 30 minutes in, you select the banner, like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up.
Comment.
If you think we're idiots, give us a thumbs down. But if I get a thumbs down after this, I know you at least listen for 30 minutes. All right, Villa Tottenham Hotspur.
Yes, that was a good match.
How many of those goals did you think were onside at the time?
2.
I thought all of them.
No, I thought
he never once looked offside to me till the replay. Every time I was like, "Oh, never mind."
The one where it was off the post, and then it landed to Son's feet. That one I thought he was onside. And then when they showed it again, I was like, "Oh, no, it's not." Okay. And then I can't remember the other one, but that match was insane, absolutely insane. Like it's one of those again where you put in the file and you say, "Here, if you want to watch, if you're starting Premier League fan, watch this match." It's one of those kind of games. Literally from 5 minutes in, it should have been 4-4. Could have been 4-4. I shouldn't say literally. It could have been 4-4. The high line was really fun to watch from both managers because, they said let's air it all out, and whoever's high line is better wins. That's kind of how this game played out to be. And by all rights, I even said in our group chat, I said if Spurs had their full squad, they win. There's just no. I just don't see Villa winning that match the way their pace was and their combination of play, even with the players that were on that field at that point, were still
I was gonna
of
say
high
the same
quality.
thing. Kulusevski,
Dude, he's such a boss.
Playing instead of Gill or Johnson on the wing and Madison in the middle, and then Emerson Royale starting as center back, and you guys only score 2 goals.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
We came away with 3 points at that point, but whatever. And we also Matty Cash destroyed Betancourt. Poor guy comes back from a hamstring or knee injury early. Is all gung ho about starting, then he tears a ligament in his ankle. Guy can't catch a break. That's tough.
No, he really can't. I don't know. This is one of those, like, we talked about Spurs, and again, I love the fact that they've lost 3.
I bet you do. I love that we're the third loss for them.
The fact that Ange Postecoglou now has 3 months of pent up manager of the month curse to deal with. It must be 3 cumulative. It has to be. It has to be cumulative.
Yeah.
But this is a perfect example, like you said, of Spurs aren't a bad team that play bad. I do think that the high line is going to get them caught out a lot. Again, I think if they want to play a high line like that against teams like Arsenal or City or Liverpool, Gakpo is going to run all over that.
I think well, yeah, okay. And you're just saying any forward at that point. But yes, I think
Diaz. No, but like Gakpo, Diaz, Salah, Liverpool has a lot of guys. Saka, Martinelli.
Oh,
Martinelli doing runs in on the back line will be burning everybody. So I do think that there's a ceiling on that. I think it works with what they have now. But the same thing, and this is me hating on them, it's the same thing as always. They don't have the depth. And the second they started to get injured, it's done. It's amazing what they're able to do and good for them. Yep. But anyone who legitimately thought that, they're going to finish second, they're going to be in the top 4, no, you're not. And it's not because your individual players aren't good enough. It's because 12 through 16 isn't good enough.
Yeah. I also think they need to increase and improve on their defensive line too. Not just like the depth of it, like overall, Christian Romero is your best player.
No,
I think they need to step that up.
Christian Romero is your best player on defense. That's insane.
Yeah. I think
Emerson
that-
Royale is still starting all the time. Ben Davies
Yeah.
is still starting all the time.
that's
Pedro
he is
Porro,
huge.
and who actually did have a good match against Villa, but
Honestly, like
He
as much as I
has-
poo-pooed on him, there is that he's like Aaron Wan-Bissaka in some sense, where like he can play exceptionally well, but he will just have those he'll have 2 or 3 bonehead moments in the match.
yeah,
And you just got to either live through it. You die by the Poro, you live by the Poro.
you live by the Porro, you die by the. I don't want to. Yeah, that's. I don't know. Anyway, 3-0 victory for Man United. Stay of execution for Ten Hag.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine for at least a couple more matches. I mean, they did what they needed to do, and that was go out and win handily, and they went out and proved that they can do that. So, even who was it against? I totally forgot.
Everton, and it felt like the most
Yeah.
even 3-0 victory I've ever seen.
That's true, because honestly, Everton could have turned around and scored a couple goals, and it was just like
They had
wow, all right, well that makes sense.
7 more passes, 1 more corner. Everton had a ton more shots, shots on target. Expected goals were almost identical. Possession was 51-49.
Yeah,
Like Garnacho had that wonder goal, and it just never seemed to click after that.
yeah, they were just everyone was kind of in awe about that. Like you got to be like they all hung their heads down on that one. Like it was a 0.03 xg, and everyone was like, "Man, we can't come back from that."
Martial had a penalty, I believe.
Yeah, he did. He had a pen.
What I think is interesting is Martial scores a goal like that, and most United fans are like, "We need to get rid of him," which I've been saying all along. The only United fan not only fan, but like the only United players that should still be in the team 3 years from now, I think, are Garnacho and Rashford.
Yeah. I know Nana because of his contract.
Yeah. How old is Dallo?
I'm just
24. Dallo can be in there. And I like Shaw, but Shaw's too old.
Yep.
But like McTominay, I understand it's been a meme this year, but come on. Martial's not that good. Bruno Fernandes he has to be a clubhouse cancer. He's technically brilliant, he is, but he has to be. I still don't understand how he's the captain. But Garnacho and Rashford, and even then, I still think Rashford has a lot of growing up to do. But talk about a squad that needs an overhaul.
Well, was it Sir Ratcliffe? Is that what his name is?
The Ineos guy?
The one that tried to buy him last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Allegedly, if he were to take over, he's selling Anthony Martial and somebody else who cost an ass ton of money. Sancho.
Oh my God. Anthony is such a joke.
Oh, for real. Like, he's just I can't even think of the analogy. Hold on. Or the player I want to say.
Anthony is a perfect example of United seeing Arsenal sign Pepe and like anything you can do, I can do better. Want to waste $80 million on a left-footed player who sucks? We'll waste $82 million on a left-footed player who sucks even more.
No, I think they're like expected to get like a Kulusevski like cut in, hit a bender, run to the corner flag and celebrate.
I think everyone has just been searching for the newest Iron Robin, and they haven't got it yet.
He's so special. No, he's just so one of a kind.
Yeah.
Guy's an absolute baller. We were so blessed to get to see him. But I agree with that statement. I like even Riyad Mahrez, when City went and bought him, same thing, left-footed only. Really just expect to stay out wide and hit a bender. Or
he had a good season with Leicester, though. Riyad Mahrez, he reminds me a lot of Jack Grealish, where everyone thought that he was going to keep the numbers up, and he never was going to City. Because he doesn't have to be the guy anymore.
Right, yeah, you can, yeah, obviously. You're just going to conform to what Pep wants you to do.
Yep. Yep. All right. You have a true false. I want to hear it.
Okay. True false. Actually, Reece James will play 3 consecutive matches this year.
False. False. Absolutely false. It's not true.
I want it to
can't
happen.
be true. All right. Here's my true false.
Yeah.
Burnley Sheffield United will be the most entertaining match this weekend.
Burnley and Sheffield United. Yeah, any of those bottom tier matches are actually really fun because it's like you have to fight for your life. So true. I'm going to stay with.
I mean, it's Arsenal Wolves, Brentford Luton, Burnley Sheffield, Nottingham Forest Everton, Newcastle versus Manchester, which could be very good, but it's at St. James's Park, and I kind of expect Newcastle to just run away with that one.
Yeah.
Bournemouth Villa, Chelsea Brighton could be good. Liverpool Fulham, West Ham Crystal Palace, United Spurs at the Etihad.
Okay. Yeah, I'd still say that's true.
Yeah, I think Burnley Sheffield's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Because I think the hope is always, a lot of times they end up very cagey and very tight.
Yeah.
But the hope is always that it's going to end up super wide open.
Of course. Well, you know what ends up happening? Not even most of the time. What we hope doesn't happen is that they end up just like shelling themselves in.
Yep.
And then
two teams parking the bus, getting a point, and going, "Oh, hey, look at that, we got a point." This is the team that's the other team you have to beat.
Yeah, you should not sit back and wait for it to come to you. I wanted to look up. I'll give you a true false, but I wanted to look up the new rules that the. It's not just FIFA, but that FIFA wanted to.
The sin bin.
Yeah, the sin bin, and then they had a couple other things too, but I don't begin to know where to look for that. So, because I don't have a research team, it's just
the sin bin seems like a bad idea. I like the idea, but it seems unnecessary.
It's like lacrosse. I don't need
just
lacrosse.
card a guy. Just card a guy.
Yeah.
Guy runs at you when he shouldn't, card him. Do that a couple times, he'll stop doing it.
Yeah, they're not like. Yeah, the fans are going to hate it because your player just got carded for nonsense.
They gotta realize that when the fans are going to hate you anyway, how much freedom that is. Can do whatever I want.
Well, then start docking pay. Hit him where it hurts, damn it.
You got another true false for me?
Oh, yeah, I definitely do. I don't remember if I said this last week or not, but I'm going to say it anyway. This is the weakest Man City team since the last couple seasons.
Couple is in the last two?
Two.
Yes. If you said 3 or 4, the answer would be no. That 2019-2020 team that Liverpool blew out of the water.
Yeah.
The one that Liverpool just absolutely destroyed and won the league in March with 25 points to spare, some bullshit. Mm-hmm. I still don't even understand how that actually happened. I do think that this team is weaker. I do. I don't know if it's weaker enough. And we can talk about whether it's treble hangover, whether it's just Kevin De Bruyne means that much, whether Rodri means that much because he's missed time, whether any of those things are true. But they don't have and everyone goes, "Oh, it's autumn." You know, they always start to click around March, and I agree with you. I do. But even then, they don't have that same feng shui. They're still good. Yeah, I still don't want to face them. But they've now drawn against Liverpool, who they hadn't dropped points against since October 22, and they've lost to Arsenal this year. They're cracks.
They're chinks in the armor. I think they'll just get that, spackle and just.
Yeah, no, I think they're still going to be good. I still think whether it's Arsenal, Liverpool, or City who wins the league, If it's not City, City finished second.
I think that keeping Bernardo Silva and Kyle Walker, and Kyle Walker is a phenomenal player. Both of them are exceptional players. But the whole Pep brings in a few players every season to keep that mentality of we want to win a championship because we haven't won a championship kind of deal. I think that mindset for some of those older players who have been around are kind of just like, we've done it. We could do it again kind of deal. That's where I think some of that, maybe they didn't have the funds to find a Bernardo Silva replacement or a Kyle Walker replacement, but they don't seem to fit the squad anymore either. Those two specific players, whether it be age.
I also think losing Ilkay Gundogan.
Yeah, he's definitely he was a maestro for that.
God, he's so good to just come in and change a match.
Can you imagine? He's just somebody who was at BVB for the longest time, and
he almost won El Clasico for Barcelona this year.
Yeah, well, Spoopy done that one.
All right. What did I have?
I don't know.
What did I have? True or false? Truso or falso?
I don't think that's how that works.
It's not how that works at all. No, I had a couple. Oh my god, I had a couple ideas and they all fell out of my head. All right, here we go.
You got you.
Manchester United do not play in Europe next year.
So is this the year, or is it next season? Where
I'm pretty sure it's this year.
Where Champions League
even with the expanded.
Okay. True, because I think they could get into European Conference.
All right, I said they don't, so you mean false, but I got you.
Oh, yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of...
I'm looking at Newcastle, I'm looking at Brighton, I'm looking at West Ham, I'm looking at Chelsea. I don't see how...
Go ahead.
Unless they're better. I don't know. I understand how many points they have, but I don't believe it.
It's an imagination. It's a figment of imagination. It's a figment of your imagination.
Figment of.
I like figment.
So what was your United one that you had for me? You were gonna say something about Will, and then you said I want to say it for true or false.
I did. No, I was saying that about Reece James.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to help you out.
No.
Help you out.
Hey.
No help for you.
Okay, that's fine. I probably wouldn't take it anyway. No, I would. That's not true. Let's say true, false. Let me look at. I don't really have much of anything. It's been a weird week. Again, another weird week. I'm tired of these weird weeks.
It's been a stressful week.
Oh, yeah. I hope everyone else didn't have a stressful week. True or false, Mo Salah leaves next season. Screw it. I don't care.
True.
Sorry.
I think we've had that before. I still think it's
Probably.
True. I still very much think it's true.
I think we did that in the summertime for sure. Excuse me. And...
True or false?
Okay.
United wins manager of the season.
That is tough.
What do you want?
Well,
what do you want it to be?
I want it to be true. But he always downplays the whole, like, we're a good squad, but we're not a top squad yet kind of thing. And you're like, damn, I semi-believe that a little bit because
See, here's where I'm at with it. It's false because Mikel Arteta is going to win it when we win the treble.
Uh-huh.
We're not going to win the treble, but we'll win the double. So,
him not having a manager of the month yet is kind of a slap in the face to him personally.
I'll take it.
Well, yeah, because then you hide air quotes, as you are in first place, under the radar.
Well, and like we haven't had like that blow-away month yet, but we've been just good the entire time, and that's good enough for me.
Hey, like I said, 3 points are 3 points, and if it keeps you moving up on the table or out of the bottom of the table, then that's all that matters.
3 points or 3 points.
Yeah.
They don't ask how; they ask how many.
Is there anything that you would change in the game currently that would improve it? I know this is so far out from left field right now. So, like, I keep seeing...
No, I know.
Is there a rule you change or
the biggest one for me that I brought up before is I think that VAR should be able to override the on-field referee. And I understand the arguments against that. I do. But we don't live in that world anymore.
That's true.
And I wish sometimes I do wish that we did, but we don't. And I think VAR should 100%. This whole clear and obvious error to get him to go look at it to see if he wants to admit that he made a mistake in front of 30 or 80,000 people like that. No, I think that's asinine. There's something else that I would change. I think that if it hits the opposition player in any way, shape, or form, offside resets. Because now it is opened up to way too much interpretation. Like this isn't just because it happened recently. This has been something that bothers me. With the Arsenal match, and Trossard was offside. The goalie saved the ball. How is that not a purposeful play?
That's an interesting point. It's kind of like that. Do you remember in the France match in the group stage?
Yep, that was the other one I was going to bring up, which should have, for all the world, not been called offside, but was.
Yep. There's another
one.
He
played the ball. He played the ball.
Yeah.
And I think that anything that you can do that can take away ambiguity is a boon. Because ambiguity and interpretation ruin it a bit. Yeah, I would love to have an answer. I would love to have the silver bullet for a handball.
Oh, God.
But I don't, because there was a handball. There were two handballs, one that didn't get called against Arsenal, one that did get called against Lens, and both of them were handballs. Well, no, the one against Arsenal wasn't a handball, and the one against Lens, I think, was a little bit harshly done, but I understand why it was called a handball. But neither one of them, I thought, were, like, compared to the Newcastle handball against PSG, and it's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's open to interpretation, right? Right. Anything that you can do to take away it being open for interpretation, I think is a problem. And saying, did the defender or the team on the defense touch the ball in any way? If he did, then offside resets. Jesus was totally onside when he headed that ball on goal. The goalie totally saved it. Purposeful play. And Trossard then caught the rebound. But because Jesus headed the ball, and for whatever reason, the goalie did, then, now it's not a purposeful. What is that? It's like that France-Tunisia game. Yep. How can you tell me he didn't purposefully play that ball? That is crazy to me. Meanwhile, a offensive player can be called offside if he just is seen as impeding or impacting the play.
Which, again, can be up to interpretation and to the line of vision.
As we saw from that United City match last year.
Yep. It happened in the Villa match. I don't remember which match it was, but Zaniolo happened to be nearish the path, but VAR ruled that he was not enough in the path to interrupt the goalkeeper's vision, and the goal stood. So that definitely is an odd. It leaves a lot to be desired and too much interpretation behind that one.
All right, what do you got?
I have a couple. I think that handball needs to be harsher. Again, if we're going the lines of black and white here, take out interpretation altogether. If it hits your arm from that jersey area down, handball. I don't care. It works for you. Works
you
against
can't
you.
jump with your arms down, though. You're giving the offensive players such an advantage on aerials. You're giving them such an advantage on aerials now.
They have to jump with their arms up too.
I know, but getting a handball in the opponent's box versus your box is not the same thing. And you know that.
All right, so maybe I'm wrong. That's fine. I understand that.
All right, what's your other one? Said you had a couple.
I had it, and it fell out of my head. What was it? It was semi-important, too. It was better than the handball one.
City deserved to be deducted 1,200 points.
They go into the 8th tier of soccer. Oh, I do have it now. We're good to go. This isn't so much about a rule or anything like that, but I want all Premier League games to be on Peacock, not be blacked out because they're on USA, NBC, whatever. I want them all. If I have to pay for it, and I know this is all about money.
That is true.
But if I also pay for...
If I'm paying for Peacock, all the matches should be on Peacock.
And on top of that, then that gets people to watch more soccer. It
has gotten worse. NBC has gotten worse. NBC used to have Premier League Gold.
Yep.
You would get all the shows. You would get everything. It was amazing. And now you can't. You can't get anything. You're watching like stupid YouTube rips of the Kelly and Reddy show.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you on that. That's a hard agree. By the way, if you guys agree, make sure to like, subscribe, say yes, send a letter to NBC.
Yeah, we'll do that right now.
Do it.
We'll get...
All right, we're coming up on the hour. I got to go find dinner.
Okay, I
got children to feed. I have a wife to feed.
I gotta do dishes, man.
Oh, that sucks.
I have a dishwasher, but that's not the point. I still have to wash.
So are you guys only bringing scalloped potatoes to the Friendsgiving?
Is that not enough?
What are you bringing, Aaron? What are you bringing?
Oh, I have to bring something?
No, Ellie's bringing scalloped potatoes. What are you bringing?
I am the gift.
All right, I'm gonna give you some liquor to pick up. All right.
All right. Well, that's fine. I don't seriously. If you want me to go pick up some booze, I'll do that too.
All right. I'm Rhett. He's Aaron. This is Swinging at Shins. I hope everyone has a good one. Bye. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. Links for anything that you could be interested in, whether it's the YouTube channel, our podcast links, our social media links, everything's in the description below. Thank you very much for listening.